السلام عليكم. ثواني
وعليكم
وحي
السلام
التحق.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم، كيفك دكتورة سماح؟
ازيك يا أستاذة إيمان، أخبارك إيه؟ يا رب تكوني بخير.
الله يسلمك، والله مشتاقين. دكتورة ثواني وراح يلتحق المدرب ينضم إلينا في القاعة.
بإذن الله إن شاء الله في انتظاره.
تمام.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا ومرحبا بجميع المنضمين إلينا. بإذن الله دقائق وينضم إلينا المدرب ونبدأ المحاضرة بإذن الله تعالى.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تسمعوني الصوت واضح؟
إيه تمام أستاذ، واضح. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
How are you everyone? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I hope you're doing great. I hope everything is perfect with you. Very sorry that I had like really challenges the last time, so I was not able to be with you. But Alhamdulillah, this time I'm able. Very sorry, just like because with certain conditions, I'm not able to open my camera, but I can still be with you. So today our we can call it a seminar because it's not a lecture. It's more than as we can say discussional session يعني حلقة نقاشية. Definitely this is going to be about the English. So it's going to be in English. Since the last time, if you can remember, I already explained that we will make an English only environment, which means that it's going to be بيئة إنجليزية فقط. تمام؟ This time the introduction was a little fast, but I will try to make it slow. I will try to speak clearly so you can understand. I want to indicate that the only way to learn English is going to be by practicing it. يعني الطريقة الأفضل أو الممارسة الأفضل للتحدث باللغة الإنجليزية تكون عن طريق الممارسة واتباع أفضل أساليب الممارسة الدولية. So the best way to speak English is going to be about practicing with practicing and to follow the international practices. So this one is going to be in English, and I really want to indicate one more time that I know that some audiences, they would love to have it in Arabic, but you can never learn Arabic. You can never learn English by only speaking Arabic. And at the same time, we will try to understand. Most of us, they will have the challenge to understand English. However, they will be having good listening skills. So, my name is Ahmed, and I'm your friend. I want everyone to say 3 things in the chat. The first thing, why does he want to learn English? The second thing, why English is important. And the third thing, what makes English more than a language? So again, the three questions. Why do we want to learn English? Why English is very important? And the third thing, why English is considered as something that is more than a language. All right? I want you to be engaged. Don't worry about the grammar. Don't worry about the structure. Just try to engage. Try to be active. Try to speak in English and to think in English. I didn't get any answers, so just like try to be active so we can make sure that you can get the best benefits out of this meeting. Now, when we speak about عقدة الخواجة, احنا بنسميها عقدة الخواجة. I have a question, so I want to, is it possible to pass the IELTS with a satisfactory grade? Yes, why not? If you believe that you can do it, then you have to follow the procedures. You have to follow the process. You have to check what are the ways and the instruments that can make you pass the IELTS. That question was by Noha Ali. Thank you very much. So you're the first participant. Thank you so much. We're having Dr. Khalil, Ibrahim, Mustafa. Welcome. We're having Sabba, because the English is very important in workplace, definitely. Not only in the Arabic world or in the MENA region. No, English is very important. Even when you try to buy something, imagine that you want to travel to somewhere, but you can't speak English. That makes you able to communicate. You will not be able to get some milk. You will not be able to get some water. You will not be able to ask about the directions. You will not be able to communicate with everyone. So we're having Muhammad Bahij. Nowadays, that's a very good use of nowadays. Yes. Nowadays, English is required in all aspects in our life, definitely in all aspects. It's very important and we have to follow it. Thank you so much. I can't see the name because it's like only showing the link, but thank you so much for welcoming me. And also Ala or Ala. This is the challenge. Every time I have the session or lecture, when I see the names of the participants, definitely when it's online, because when it's offline, you can see the people. I always confuse between Ala and Ala, but both of them, they are really great. And I am always interested in understanding the meaning of the Arabic names because each name has a meaning. And we believe that, like in our Arabic culture, we believe that everyone is going to get a part of his name. Ala, okay, that's great. Iman, I want to learn English to improve my communication skills and access better opportunities. That sounds great. Then you're taking the right way. The better opportunities will come only if you have English. Now, people not only speak English, they speak Spanish, they speak French, they are speaking Germany, like Deutsch. So if you're interested to have better characters, when you learn a new language, you will be obtaining a new character, believe it or not. From my experience, this is something that is very true. I can still see the link, but I can't see your name. So can you please try to change to rename yourself so I can address you by your name? Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How about you? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having great plans for your weekend. We're having for those I want to learn English for my family. That's very, very interesting. What makes you eager to learn English for your family? Can I know? And Iman Mukhtar, I want to use English in my teaching science in international school. Well, this is always investment. When I had my English center, I had an English center, but then I became very busy to follow up. Every time I get people, when I look at their eyes, as I was the CEO of the center, I was very keen to check every student. When I look at the eyes, I can see whether this person is eager or not. And before it, I was working in a company, and I want to tell you this experience. You have got to listen to it. When I was in this company, I had a security guy or like a housekeeping. I can't really remember what he was. And every time I go and get some coffee. I think he was housekeeping, yes. Like some kind of people who can like serve and clean the stuff and like this. So every time I can see him, I used to give him like some good thing, maybe sometimes some traits, some sweets, some money, something like things like this. That's everyone is doing. And one time he told me, you know what, Mr. Ahmed, I don't want to get the money. I want you to help me to learn English. Can I ask you to just like sit with me for 5 minutes every day? And that's all I need. And I told him, okay. And then I started guiding him. I started helping him. After 1 year, this guy became a personnel in the company. So instead of working as housekeeping, he worked as a travel consultant for a company. And instead of getting 2,500 at this time, this was around maybe 8 years ago, he got 8,000. So you can believe that it was doubled for 4 times. Um, Let me get back. We're having Nuha, which is better for learning the language, a teacher or a person whose native language is English? No, teaching is totally different than a person who only speaks. So it's very important to learn from a teacher. This is my advice. But it's even better to practice with a native person. So learning can be with a teacher, practicing can be with a native person. All right. I want to learn. Faisal, he's saying, I want to learn English for development at work because it is an important language globally. Definitely. This is very important. Development, enhancing, sustainment, sustainability, achieving the goals, achieving the sustainable development goals. This is not only for like the conferences, for the big businesses, for no, this is for yourself to achieve the SDG or the sustainable development goals. I want to learn to help me in the university. The most thing that helped me in my life is that I worked when I was studying. I didn't need to get the money. I didn't need to work for like 8 hours and study for 8 hours. No, I did it for my sake, which now helped me a lot. When I graduated, or when I was graduated, I noticed that my colleagues, they started from where I ended. So it's really important. I want to learn to travel to America, but why do you want to travel to America? Like, are you seeking the American dream or like you just want to live in there because of the environment and the community and like this, just like out of curiosity? I think it is important to help us to communicate with the world. This is from Shema, definitely. This is very important. We need a way to use vocab and our knowledge in English for thinking in English. What ways for that M doctor, please? So you have to see what words that you're using. you have to consider what words that you're using. You have to see it. Like, as an example, I'm traveling to a specific country and I want to be able to communicate, to be able to ask for directions, to be able to go to the grocery shop, to be able to deal with the people. Then my focus is going to be on directions, on grocery shops, on items, on like supplies that I need, on like things that I will use. And I need to practice. So I need to write them. I need to practice them. I need to speak with my family, even like you can go to your family, your husband, your mother, your father, your wife, your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, and you can start speaking. At the beginning, they will be laughing and saying, "Hey, what's wrong with you today? Are you just like out of MBC2 or something?" But later on, that's gonna be very effective. Um, okay, the last one. So sorry, but what is the expected time to master the English language? How much daily time to learn the language? It depends on the teacher. It depends on how agile you are. It depends on how uh, um, professional and disciplined you are. This is very important. This is really important. You have to focus on this and you have to pay the attention. You have to consider that this is very important. And the most thing you have to remember is that my name is Ahmed and I'm your friend. So please feel free to communicate, to address any thoughts in your mind and anything about it. And now I have a question for you. It's like a mysterious question. Now I will try to ask you something and you will try to think about it in English. Now, if I asked you to describe a fruit and I told you that the name of the fruit is the same like the color of it, what is it? Again, a fruit that the name of the fruit is the same as the color of it. What is it? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Um, well, بالنسبة لك يا أخي مهند، طبعا هذه المحاضرة هي تركز على زي ما بنسميها عقدة الخواجة، الطريقة اللي بتخلينا نحط الحواجز ما بيننا وبين الإنجليش. فطبعا هي مش من البداية، هي مش للمبتدئين، مش للبيجنرز، هي بتركز لو انت اوريدي بتتكلم انجليش. ان شاء الله بعد كده بيكون في محاضرات اكتر، بيكون في مشاركة للشاشة، بفتح الفيديو كمان معاكم، لكن مش في هذه المحاضرة. تحياتي. Excellent everyone, it's orange. Good job. Yes, exactly. Now, we brought this word out of your mind. We brought this word out of your mind. Now, if you don't practice, if you don't speak, then that means that you will not be able to get the words out of your mind. As an example, now when I say orange, when I say mango, you think about the mango, how it looks like this. And awasi mango, as we love it in Egypt, and different types of it. You think about the fruits. Um, this is right. So this is the same thing with English. As long as you practice it, you're gonna definitely always learn it and you're gonna remember it. It's the same thing. I recited the Holy Quran when I was very young. I think I was in the 6th year of the primary school, but now, unfortunately, I can't remember it unless I like read it and like try to recite it again in order to try to make sure, because I I didn't used to continue, unfortunately. It's the same thing with the language, it's the same thing with the discipline, it's the same thing with everything. This is very important. Now, why don't we can delve further and try to play a game together? Who wants to volunteer to play a game with me? Allah يعطيك العافية أخ مهند. Now everyone who wants to volunteer to play a game with me. You can just like raise your hand and then we can play the game together. So if anyone wants to take this opportunity to speak without being shy, don't worry. No one is going to judge you. Don't worry. You can speak, you can make mistakes, and it's really okay. But Meshal, I think that's your name, Meshal, this has to be with voice. So you have to open your mic. You don't have to open your camera. Don't open your camera, just your mic, and then you can start the game. Any volunteers? Are there any volunteers? Who can volunteer? We can give it. Okay, yeah, I think we have someone like from the host. You can volunteer if you want. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello, how are you? Good evening.
I'm fine. I'm fine. But before we starting, when I start to talk, I make a thousand mistakes. But this is my
No
way to learn.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem. And this is the way to learn. Thank you so
Yes.
much. This is
Yes.
very important. We can only learn from the mistakes. So
Yes.
the game is going to be questions. I will ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
And you can answer with a wrong answer, different answer.
Yeah, I
Like,
try to do
yeah,
this.
yeah, like as an example, I tell you, how old are you? You say, my name is Muhammad. I tell you, what is your favorite color? You say, my favorite drink is Pepsi. I tell you like this, all right? Are you ready?
This is like a buzzer for me. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You ask about something and I answer about another something.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So tell me, who's your favorite actor?
Again, please.
Who is your favorite actor?
Sure. You can give me another meaning about this?
Yes. Actor is a person that can make a movie. Is a person like Ahmed Aiz, like Ahmed
Yeah,
Al-Saqqa,
yeah,
like this.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
who is your favorite actor?
yeah. Like how the lion to hunt.
Excellent job. Now your turn. Ask me a question.
Okay. Let me see. Why you learn English?
Well, I really like to look at the moon and to observe the moon. Tell me, do you prefer iPhone or Samsung?
Yeah, I have a motorcycle.
Excellent. Now ask me.
Uh, Let me see. Are you like to walk in the night?
Well, I think that when I ride my car, I have to definitely go to the petrol station. Let me ask you, have you ever been to the Emirates?
I watched the movie when I was a child, but now not.
Excellent job. Now we are going to the next level. You have to answer in only 3 seconds and then to ask me back in less than 3 seconds. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I try.
All right, show me your best. Tell me, do you like to drink orange or mango?
Before we starting, the same rule.
The same rule and three
Yeah,
seconds to answer and then 3 seconds to ask me, and I will do the same thing.
yeah,
Okay, so tell me, do you like to drink juice or cola?
yeah. I walking in the night. This is a nice day.
Awesome.
Okay, you like to drink matcha tea?
Well, the favorite perfume that I use is the misk, and the one that I like to use, the one that they get from the deer. Let me ask you, do you like riding horses, by the way?
The traffic jam, and I have a traffic jam. I jump above the card.
Excellent.
Okay.
Now 3
Why?
seconds.
Why? Okay.
But have you noticed what happened? Like, can you tell me what things you learned from this game, please? And sorry, can I have your name? Your name is Muqbil, Mr.
Yep.
Muqbil, right?
Yes. Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Next.
So tell me,
Yeah.
what things you learned from this game?
Uh, I learned how can I think with the English very very fast thinking and fast thinking in the English
Right.
without my mother tongue.
Excellent. That's very good. And
Yeah.
also for the participants, everyone, can you please tell me what thoughts you have from this game? Thank you so much, Mr. Muqbil.
You're
Now,
welcome. Thank you.
my pleasure. This game is actually, as Mr. Muqbil mentioned, this one makes you think unconsciously, think without thinking in English. So you only think about the words that you have. You get a basket and you throw all your thoughts in this basket. That makes you speak English without focusing on the structure, without focusing on the grammar. And then your mind is going to accelerate and work on a very rapid scale in order to speak and to participate. That was great. I think now we have more volunteers, but we can do it for the next
But
time. Yeah, please go
excuse
ahead.
me.
Yeah,
Excuse me. We have a question in the chat.
yeah. Let me check it. All right. Can I be assistant for the volunteer? Michelle, you have to speak. Michelle, try to do it.
No,
Try
I
to
I
do it.
I mean the last one. Huda Nasser.
يس الآن أنا دخلت ممكن حد يفهمني طبيعة المحاضرة. أهلا أختي هدى. آم، إحنا بنتكلم في المحاضرة باللغة الإنجليزية فقط، عاملين بيئة باللغة الإنجليزية English only environment بنركز فيها على الأساليب اللي تخلينا نفهم إزاي نتعلم إنجليزي بطرق غير تقليدية، بطرق مبتكرة. وطبعا الاسم هو عقدة الخواجة. Why I called it like this? Because when we think about English, we think that it's a very, very hard thing to be learned. We think that, oh my God, look at these people. They're having British accent, they're having American accent, and I can never reach to this level. Even sometimes I speak English, but my pronunciation is not as good as it be. My accent is not good. My grammar and structure, I don't seek to improve them and develop them. So this part is really, really important, right? This is what we need to work on. This is what we need to have. هذه المحاضرة غير مناسبة للمبتدئين للأسف. لكن إن شاء الله في فترات يكون فيها وقت أكتر بنرتب إن شاء الله مع الأكاديمية إن إحنا ممكن نبقى نعمل دورات تدريبية من أول مستوى وتكون متخصصة للمبتدئين، أو يكون في كمان بعد كده محاضرات للمبتدئين بحيث إن إحنا نكون عملنا السكيل كلها. لكن أنا بتكلم في المحاضرة دي على المستوى اللي بيكون عدى الليفل. طبعا احنا كلنا مبتدئين في الحياة لأول يوم والآخر يوم. أنا طبعا لم أخطئ استخدام الكلمة. بالنسبة لي أنا مثلا في اللغة اليابانية أو اللغة الأسبانية، بتكلم شوية أسباني، يمكن اللغة الفرنسية، أكون مبتدئ أكيد جدا. لكن المهم، هل أنا هكون مبتدئ على طول ولا I have to develop myself؟ لازم أطور نفسي. This is very important, and I also want to like confirm for everyone, for every participant, what are the things that you learn from this game? What do you think about this game? Why you may consider it as it is important, right? This part is very important. This part is really important. And also, I want to speak about عقدة الخواجة. عقدة الخواجة هي اللي بتخلينا نوقف الطموح التركيز، مش بس الطموح، بتخلينا نوقف العزم، بتخلينا ما نركزش ان احنا ازاي نتعلم انجليزي، بتخلينا نوقف البحث عن التعلم، بتخلينا نتعقد شويتين، بتخلينا نفهم غلط اللغة. لكن احنا we are having a great language, which is the Arabic language, right? The Arabic language, it has more than 12,500,000 words. It has all the sounds, all the pronunciation sounds in the world. Why wouldn't be able to speak English? Why wouldn't be able to speak like them? I believe that sometimes I deal with natives, and when I really concentrate on the language, I may be able to speak in a better accent, in a better pronunciation. This is very important. Now, when we think about the language, we deal with it with the easiest way. With the easiest way. What is the easiest way? What is the most simple way to learn it? There are many things. There are many games that you can do. There are many tools that you can have. This is very important. أنا أحب أدرس معكم كيف التسجيل. Does the Academy support paid courses؟ وأنا كمان الصوت بيقطع طبعا. في كل التفاصيل الخاصة بالتسجيل وكل التفاصيل الخاصة بالدورات، طبعا التواصل كله بيكون مع السيد مقبل ومع الأكاديمية. We're just like doing these lectures in order to make sure that everyone gets the best benefits. And at the same time, we want to make sure that everyone is going to get the right echo about the English, about the language. This is really important. It's really important. How can we try to understand the different ways of learning the language? This is very, very important. So, as I mentioned, we can always try to develop ourselves in a good way. For me, I used to listen to music. I used to listen to also movies, like to watch movies. I used to play video games. I used to be engaged with the different foreigners, different countries. So this is very important, and it's always very easy. You can watch videos, but you have to speak. You can never learn driving a car without driving it. Even if you like read thousands of books, like millions of books, and you never went through driving the car and the driving process, you will never be able to drive the car eventually. So the question is, how can we transform the instructions into actions؟ ازاي نقدر نحول كل المعلومات الموجودة عندنا لمعمولات على أرض الواقع؟ ازاي نقدر ان احنا نتكلم انجليزي بالاكسنت الصح، بالنطق الصح، بالقواعد الصح؟ Now, the why, all of you have answered, but the how can we learn English? What is the best possible way to learn English? Who can tell me? And also, the time of starting. What is the perfect time to start? And why do I need to start? This is very important. And also, we can always focus on the different activities that we can have. We can always think about the possibility to learn. How can I learn? How can I do it? Is it very hard? Is it something that is going to be like really hard? And when people, I heard it one time, I really heard it. one time I was giving some lectures, and then when I left the place, I was in Berlin. And then when I was like leaving the place, I noticed that someone was telling to someone, listen to this guy. He was not speaking about me, he was speaking about another one. He was like native from Britain, and he told him, ازاي اتعلم اتكلم زيه. And then the other one told him, والتاني قال له في المشمش, like it happens once in a blue moon. حسيت ان انا لازم اتكلم معهم. I went to them, I spoke to them, I told him, why do you think so? ليه انت بتفكر كده? He told me, because I don't know, I think that it's very hard, this is impossible, I can't do it. And then I told him, you will never do it. And then he told me, like he told the guy, you see, I told you already that he can never do it. But then I told him, yes, because you said it before me. Maybe he can do it, but you will never do it. Because not you're bad, not because you don't want to do it, but because you think it's impossible. You already built your structure and you thought that it's going to be impossible. Believe it or not, when I started to learn the accent, my accent was Indian. I was working for Vodafone UK, and I was starting like, welcome to Vodafone. This is Eddie speaking. How can I help you? And it was Indian. People thought that I'm like working from India, from somewhere in India. And that was it. And some people were making fun of this. I was even making fun of this. Like, come on, guys. Like, you try to speak the British accent or the American accent, and then you speak the Indian. You try to go to Hollywood, and then you go to Bollywood. So that was crazy. But how you can do it? This is the question. How you can do it? And do you think that you can do it or not? We're having Iman, Hassu,
Yeah.
and Noha also before it, sorry, and Nama. Okay, so for everything related to their registration and the lecture and like this, you can get back to the admin and to the managerial parts, and you can contact them on this. For anything related to English, here you can ask me any question or share any thoughts, and I will be very happy to get to you. We can apply the knowledge in real life by practicing correct English pronunciation daily. Definitely. Good job, Iman. That's a great part. Right. نعمة أحب أغادر. ممكن تسأل الآن ليه حابة تغادر يا نعمة؟ وكما ذكرت التواصل في هذه المواضيع بيكون مع الإدارة. By listening more than speaking. Right, رحمة. Good job. And the most important part, everyone, is that I want you to remember, my name is Ahmed, and I'm your friend. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to try to take you to another level with English, with the interpretation, with the translation, with the speaking skills, with the public speaking, with anything that I can do. But believe me, you will never do it unless you stand for yourself and you say, I'm not going to be shy. I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm going to do it. I can do it, and I'm going to do it. So this part is really important. You have to think and to believe that you can do it. You have to take the process of doing it. You have to start doing it. Now, this is the message that we want to have. And this is why we call it عقدة الخواجة, because it's always hard. We think it's impossible sometimes. No, I'm afraid to make mistakes. Why? Because when I was young, my friends told me, what is this? And they started making fun of me. طلعوني على المسرح خلاص. I decided I will never speak English. وخصمت الإنجليش وجبت الإنجليش كده وحطيته في صندوق أسود وقفلت عليه. Until now, I'm not speaking English. Maybe one time I was doing a presentation in English and then I was making awful pronunciation. I thought that my Arabic is better, so I decided I will never do presentations in English. And you know what? I will never even do presentations. So this is very important. We have to always try to find the way to do it, the practicing way. Now, let me get back to the chat. By
Um,
listening more than speaking, this is totally right. This is totally right. Step by step, even just little daily, but we need to never stop trying. Excellent. Totally right. Also, my problem isn't in listening, my big problem in speaking. I understand you, doctor, but I can't speak. Why? You can write. Like you thought about this. You didn't get this from Google Translation or somewhere, Iman, right? You thought about it. Why you didn't speak? Why? Please tell me why. Like, ask yourself this question. Why you can't? Anyone now? I didn't see anyone that raised his hand. Guys, this is awful. Like, no one raised his hand to ask a question. Only Rahma, she raised her hand, I think, at the time of the activity, but no one wanted to speak. You're having an opportunity. I did lectures in universities, in institutes, in organizations, and people come from everywhere. They are very important people. They are having businesses and they come and they pay in dollars and they get to it and they do it and they send me messages and they call me. And in my free time, they still like nagging me in my weekends. They call me, Mr. Ahmed, let's go ahead, let's have a coffee. I will take you to a coffee. Let's try to speak English. Let's do it. And they are working on it. And now, 90% of them, they are speaking the British accent. They got to the level where they can do it because they wanted to. But now we're giving you this lecture, and you're even feeling vulnerable to raise your hand and to speak, to share your thoughts. Well, I opened the floor for you. And this is why we're calling it عقدة الخواجة, which is something that is not only in movies. No, this is totally right. And this is why we need to think about it this way and to cross or the barriers to do it.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Ahmed.
Wa alaikum salam. Here we have the hero.
I'm Dr. Shirin. Dr.
Welcome,
Shirin.
Dr. Shireen.
Yeah, I want to talk about my own experience about talking with to speak in English. I began in the first time I speak English when I go to the PhD. This is a surprise thing because in PhD they used to talk in English, and I took all my courses in English, and even the professors or the doctors speak in English. So the my own experience, I ask myself, what I gonna do with myself? I started
Yeah.
thinking. I look for many things to do, but the the precious thing I find that I first time or first step I listen to English. This is the first thing. Okay. And I start to read in loud voice articles and listen to some actors in English, some people, some lectures in English, and I play with myself like making a broadcasting, like saying and using the words I learn. This is the things I use to make to speak in English. But the first time I was very shy, very shy to
Yes.
speak. Yeah, and I'm becoming very hesitating, and I always have the thing that I will be have mistakes, and I was very miss up with myself to talk in English, to speak in English. But finally, I found that it's not that a problem. It's not hard. It's not hard to speak in English. It's only to play with yourself and find it easy. Yeah, you can ignore your mind, ignore your thoughts, and ignore everything, and imagine you are talking with a person, not a person. Imagine you speaking with these sentences.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that, yeah. So this is my experience. not for a long time. It's a new experience when I enter a PhD program. That's all.
Well, I think that you're a heroine, Dr. Shireen. You did a great job, and you're like a role model for many people. I'm really proud of you. Now you spoke without stopping.
Yeah,
Your pronunciation is good, and you're
yeah, but
doing a good job.
I need more. I need more development. So this is why I attend this lecture to be more development.
Exactly. Well, there
Mm,
is always a room for development, and you have to always seek it. It's always like
yeah.
this. It's always like this. And I can always remember for me, even to be honest with you, I'm never satisfied about what I do. I'm happy, but I never got to reach the 100% because I want every time I go there, I go to the client, I ask him for the feedback. He told me, "You're doing great," but then I'm not satisfied because there's always a room for development. You feel it by yourself. And this is
Mhm.
why you can always seek the right way. So, can you tell me what was the biggest obstacle that you faced?
The biggest obstacle um, that I was very shy, and I become very not have the self confidence with
Yeah.
myself to say even my name in English, to say like Sharon. I say no Sharon, it will be wrong. I every time have wrong thoughts, but I ignore it and try to ignore it, and I start to work hard on myself. The first step, I began to listen and use my ears to listen for some actors, some videos in English, some songs, and try to read in English. And I play a game, as I told you, like a broadcasting, and play with myself. Hello, I'm Sharon. I'm in my room. And then I go to another place. I play with myself and put some words and sentences. And the thing, there is a rule I infer that
Mhm.
to learn English, it's better to use your words in sentences, not to learn and memorize the words in your mind.
Yeah.
To practice, yeah, to
Right.
practice. hmm This
Right.
is the thing.
Right. You're really doing a great job. I can tell you you're shining. This is really great. This is really awesome. And the way that you described how you ignored the fear, the biggest fear in the world is the fear of the self, the fear of, no, I'm not going to do it in the right way. Allah
Yeah,
has given us everything in the perfect way. It's only us that can believe it. It's how we see things. You go to a metro station and you can see the people are having universe in their minds. Everyone is having his thoughts. Someone is thinking about something. Someone is thinking about, like, I have my family, I have some problems, I have my wife, I have my maybe my work, I have my sport that I need to work on, I have the gym that I need to go, I have some obligations, I have some limitations. But then you can find someone and you can know it that this person is striving, he's struggling, but he's still happy and he's still doing his best and he's going to overcome everything. Thank you so much, Dr. Shreen. This is
yeah.
really, really great. And that was a great example. Thank you so much. Do you want to add anything extra?
No, that's only.
That's
That's
really
only I
great.
want. That's only I was. I want to share my experience, my own experience. That's all.
I think this is very
Mm.
inspiring for everyone, and I really invite everyone to take Dr. Shireen as a role model, to always try to think how Dr. Shireen was able to overcome the obstacles and the challenges and the hardships, and how she transformed the challenges into opportunities.
Yes.
Surgeries, not only at the hospital. العمليات مش بتكون بس في المستشفى، العمليات ممكن تكون خارج المستشفى. ممكن الواحد مع نفسه إن هو يحسن لنفسه. إن هو يحسن للقريب. ربنا وصانا إن إحنا نحسن للناس ودايما نتعامل مع الناس بود. طيب ليه بننسى إن إحنا نتعامل مع نفسنا بود؟ إن إحنا ندي لنفسنا قيمتها. Why do we forget about this? Why do we forget about being kind to ourselves, about boasting ourselves? And now I will get back to the chat. I have also the last one, I think, yes, from Muhammad. And as you mentioned, we need to practice like driving a car. Exactly. Man, we can apply the knowledge in real life by practicing correct English pronunciation daily. Right. أنا أفهم القراءة، لا أفهم أغلب ما أسمع، ولا أستطيع التحدث والكتابة. Why is that, Huda? Why you are claiming this? Iman, how can I practice? Because I didn't find someone to practice with me, doctor. You can always try to maybe speak with your family. Anyone, you can try to do it. There is no excuse for this. You can always try to do it. There are many, many places that provide professional training and professional English courses. You can go there, and that will be the solution. From
Uh,
Mishal, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Ahmed, can I respond for Huda in Arabic?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Huda, I want to say you you not يعني مش مزبوط انه انت اخذي من تجربتي، يعني مش شرط not in condition انه انت انه مثلا انه انا بفهمش من الانجليزي بالسمع او بالقراءة او حتى اني بلجأ بالكتابة و- وما بعرف احكي. لا، خذي من تجربتي. شوفي الانسان من الاول من البداية in starting don't listen to your mind. اوكي. شوفي الإنجليزي كيف بدي أحكي لك إياها. الإنجليزي أنت تعاملي معي من العقل الواعي واللاواعي. اللاواعي هو أهم إشي، هو أهم إشي. يعني شوفي أنت كيف تعملي. أنت انقلي شوفي أو أخذتي كلمة واحدة من الأول ما سمعتي، حلو. تاني كلمة حلو، ثالث كلمة حلو. فاجمعي كلمات ماشي، وشوفي شو الجمل اللي بيستعملوها بالكلمات هاي، وحطيها واغرسيها بالعقلك الواعي. ومرة على مرة بصير على اللاواعي، بصير هو لحاله يطلع لحاله. بتعرفي كيف بيصير الشغلة؟ بس احكي مثلا I will go to school، حطيت بدماغي اللاواعي أن كلمة school. فمثلا أول ما أضغط على كلمة سكول حتطلع من عقلك اللاواعي من الداخل إن حتطلع عدة جمل بكلمة سكول. يعني هي شغلة هيك، يعني زي اللعبة. يعني أنت إشي حطيه بالوعي وعشان مرة على مرة بصير باللاواعي. بس أهم إشي كيف الأمر إنه مثلا بالسمع لا تقولي لا تقولي لحالك لدماغك لا تسمحي له قولي له لا أنا بفهم، أنا بفهم. حتى لو ذكرتي الكلمة واحدة، تخيلي حتى لو سمعتي لأكثر من واحد بيحكي بالبريتش كان أكسنت ولا بالأمريكان أكسنت. أوكي. شوفي أنت زي ما حكى لك مستر أحمد، الهندي لما يجي يتعلم إنجليزي عنده أكسنت معروف عنه. لما يتعلم إنجليزي شوفي قديش يعني ما عنده الشاي الخجل إنه هو يحكي إنجليش، مع إنه الأكسنت تبعه زي اللغة الهندية، يعني زي اللهجة الهندية. فانت لازم تتعاملي مع دماغك انك انت عندي دماغك. حتى لو لقطتي بس كلمة واحدة، تخيلي لو مر عليكي شهر واحد بس خرجتي ب10 كلمات واستعملتيهم بجمل بكفي. يعني لا تسمحي
Right.
تقولي لا. لا تسمحي، يعني هيك. انا هيك
Exactly.
بنظر، يعني هي من التجربة الشخصية
Exactly.
يعني. أمم.
Exactly. This is a great point, is that you always think about how you can overcome the challenge. I have also another question. I can, no, it's like just like sharing. I can understand your language, it's clear, but other American or British, they are eating the words. Actually, they are not eating the words, they are linking the words together. So if I
أمم.
say Bob is on the game, now Bob is on the game, it's like Bob is on the game, but I connect the words with the vowels. Like when I have two words, I connect the last letter with the first vowel, like the last sound with the first vowel. Like, and instead of saying, I can understand, no, I say I can understand. Right? Your language
أمم.
is clear. So it's the same thing. They are going to like use the linking mechanism, but as long as you can always do the same, you'll be able to understand it. Michelle is saying, I can understand your language is clear, but other, yeah, this is one that I think we got. Iman, I can write and I listen more movies without translation, but I'm afraid of speaking because I didn't practice. And this is what we call عقدة الخواجة. Don't be afraid. Go ahead
Yeah,
and do
don't
it.
be afraid. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one is going to stop you. I have
Yeah.
the same problem with Mr. Iman. It's going to be with many people. I want any program for practicing English pronunciation and phonics. There are many things you can just go to Google, and now you can find millions, literally millions of sources to learn. We use so, it's better than very. I'm so shy, not very shy. Well, we can say very and so and to. We can differentiate between them in just like very brief way. Two, it's going to be related to something bad, like I'm too late. But
Yeah.
so I will like try to do it with positive things. I will say that's so good, that's so great, and like this. And very can be like medium. You can say I'm very late, so it indicates that you're late, which is something bad. And you can say also I came very early, so that can be also related to something about the indicator, about the indication of what you want to say. روابط الحضور. Okay. I'm very hungry. I'm starving. When can we find more than these words and phrases? You can just go to Google, write, give me similar words to I'm starving or I'm hungry, right? And the difference between them is that I'm starving, think about the same thing, that you have been into desert and you haven't eaten anything, and then this is why you're starving. like عصافيري مش فاكر المصطلح كان ايه، او زي بيقولوا عصافير بطني خلاص بتصوصو يعني، او حاجة زي كده. I'm very hungry. I'm very hungry. This can means like you had your breakfast, but maybe you didn't eat your lunch. I have a question outside the lesson. How can I differentiate between the name Ala and Ala? Most of the time they call me Ala. Well, when it comes to this, your name is that way. You can always do it with the Arabic one, because this one, I think that, and it's not bad. It's not like weird. It happens with many things. It happens with many names. I can understand the listen, but the problem in talk. Why? Why Saba? The same thing. This is why we always get back to audit al-Khawaga. So you have to overcome audit al-Khawaga. I want to thank everyone that participated. I want to thank Mr. Muqbil, Dr. Shireen, everyone with their names and their titles that have participated. I thank all of you. And yeah, please go ahead.
Excuse me. But I think Miss Rahma and Miss Dr. Samah want to talk.
Yeah, sure. Please go
Yeah.
ahead. Please go ahead. If you have any comments, please go ahead. This is your time. Rahma, you can go ahead. Okay, anyone wants to add anything before we leave and depart?
Yes, Mr. Ahmed.
Yes, please go ahead.
You see the way when you respond about the difference between hungry and starving. You
Yeah.
know, this is a way to learn English. How you look for the definitions, okay, the definitions, and you begin to compare with and to learn the definitions. This is give you a wide sentences, and you forget to use the word. I use the sentence, not the word. That's the way, the one of the ways to
Yeah,
learn English.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. to learn about
This is
to learn through definitions and looking for meaning.
exactly.
But
And also I
yeah,
want to add that you always need to say what you need. What do you need? Like, do you need something from your field? Yes. You have to
yes.
always learn
Mm,
things that you will use so you can keep in your mind. Normal things like, you know, I'm doing great. I'm not bad. How are you doing? Good evening, good morning, like good
yeah.
afternoon. Normal things. How was the food? It was delicious. Like things that you're sure that you're going to use. This part is like really important. And again, if there anyone wants to add anything or has any insights, please go ahead. This is your time. Okay, I think that was it for today. I thank you, everyone. And I also want to tell you that the most important thing is that you remember my name is Ahmed and I'm your friend. Thank you for participating. Thank you for attending this lecture. I hope that it was very beneficial for you and I wish you a great night. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. تمام، بالنسبة لرابط الحضور راح نرسله الآن. رابط الحضور راح يكون يحتوي على معلومات المطلوبة لملء الشهادة، شهادة الحضور. بالإضافة أن أرسلنا على الرسائل تبعت اليوتيوب. الرابط راح يظل موجود لمدة 10 دقائق، متاح تعبئته حتى الساعة 11 صباح غد. ما بعد 11 لا يتم أخذ بعين الاعتبار. أستاذ أحمد، في أسئلة نحتاج دورة مع الأستاذ أحمد إن شاء الله.
يعني هيك خلصت المحاضرة؟ غير.
نعم دكتورة، خلصت.
يعني بقدر أروح؟
صحيح.
أوكي، يعطيكم العافية.
الله يعافيك، حياك.
يلا.
هل هناك رقم التواصل مع الأكاديمية؟ بفورم الشهادة راح يكون في روابط التواصل على الواتساب، فيسبوك، تليجرام. على مجموعات الواتساب أو على التليجرام أو على الفيسبوك ممكن تطلبي التواصل مع آه، إدارة الأكاديمية، إن كان مدير تنفيذي، مدير عام، أو مدير التدريب. لحد الآن لم نقرر عقد دورة لغة إنجليزية مدفوعة. آه، أود التنويه أنه راح يكون عندنا منحة عملاقة نوعا ما. المنحة راح تكون كمان مجانية. عندنا الدورة غير مدفوعة، ولكن شهادة برسوم. هي دورة عن الآيزو، مدتها ما يقارب 8 ساعات تقريبا. راح يتم التنسيق بما يخص دورة اللغة الإنجليزية قريبا إن شاء الله. المنحة متاحة أونلاين، أي شخص يقدر يقرأ ياخذها أي شخص يستطيع الحضور. يعني المنحة أونلاين، يعني أي شخص من أي دولة بالعالم يستطيع الحضور ومتابعة المنحة، إما عن طريق زوم أو عن طريق البث اللي على اليوتيوب. بس الأفضل على الزوم مشان سهولة المشاركة، لأنه مرات ما نقدر نكون قادرين على متابعة الرسائل اللي تجي على لا، مش منحة جامعية، هي محاضرات متنوعة، كل دكتور يقدم محاضرة ضمن مجال اختصاصه. الأشخاص اللي بعلم النفس يقدموا في علم النفس، الأشخاص اللي بالقانون يقدموا في القانون، البرمجة اللغوية يقدم في مجال البرمجة اللغوية. هيا أعدنا إرسال رابط الحضور. رابط الحضور في نهاية رابط الحضور يحتوي على جميع الروابط التي تحتاجونها. الله يعافيك أستاذنا. المنحة، يكفي انضمامكم إلى إلى جروب الواتساب، أو قناة التليجرام، أو الفيسبوك. تواجدكم في أحد هذه القنوات يمكنكم من حضور المنحة، يتم إرسال روابط عليه. حياك الله. أي أسئلة قبل ما ننهي؟ حياك الله. في دورة بالآيزو، صحيح. دورة الآيزو ما عليها تكلفة، الدورة مجانية، ولكن راح يكون في شهادة معتمدة لمن يرغب بشهادة معتمدة. راح تكون الشهادة معتمدة من الحكومة البريطانية، من أكاديمية لكسر، على ما أذكر اسمها. نسيت اسم الأكاديمية بالضبط يعني. رابط الحضور تم إرساله، راح أعيد إرساله مرة ثانية. تمام، أستاذ أيمن أرسلته. بالنسبة لدورة الآيزو، الدورة مجانية بالكامل، يستطيع أي شخص حضورها، ولكن من يريد الحصول على شهادة معتمدة من الحكومة البريطانية يدفع فقط رسوم تكلفة الشهادة، من غير أي رسوم إضافية، فقط رسوم تكلفة الشهادة. بالنسبة لمحاضرة الآيزو اللي راح تبلش في 1/1/11 يوم الجمعة التي تلي القادمة. الدكتور والأستاذ اللي راح يقدم دورة الآيزو متخصص واستشاري في أنظمة الجودة العالمية الآيزو. تمام. مقتطفات سورية. الرابط فقط بعد بعد ما إرسال النموذج، بعد ما يعطي تم، خلاص ما في عاد داعي لإعادة تعبئته مرة أخرى. وأتمنى إنه منكم جميعا إنه عدم تعبئة النموذج أكثر من مرة. تمام، أتوقع الآن الكل خذ الرابط، الكل عبى الرابط. أه نقدر ننهي إذا ما حد عنده أسئلة. أي رابط الشهادة يا أستاذة هبة. شكرا لكم جميعا. تمام، هي رابط، هي جميع روابط التواصل، بالإضافة لقناة، رابط قناة اليوتيوب. وراح أرسل رابط المحاضرة هاي، رابط مخصوص لهاي المحاضرة.